ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। हरि ओम। Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we have been studying, and after a long break, we are resuming today. I hope we remember at least a few things that we have discussed earlier. We have seen the first chapter up to verse number 19. We had seen in the very beginning Dhritarashtra inquiring about what happened, details of all the events that took place at Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, where his own sons and Pandu's sons had gathered with the desire to fight. From the second verse onwards, Sanjaya has started speaking, and we have seen to get Dhritarashtra's complete attention, Sanjaya starts talking about what Duryodhana did at that time. And we found that Duryodhana was also extremely agitated, very much under stress, and went and blabbered a lot to his Guru Dronacharya, as a child would go and prattle to the mother when he or she is under great stress. And in that prattling, he also insulted Dronacharya and was saying things which were demoralizing his own forces. So, to stop him go on and on like that, although understanding that he is a patient now, but somewhere he has to stop. Bhishma Pitama came in, he was just next to Dronacharya, and he started making a lot of noise. He roared like a lion. We find that what would be the health of senior citizens in those age. Yeah. Bhishma Pitama. Arjun himself was about 65 during war. Okay, so Arjun, and that time it was considered he was the youth, because that time the lifespan was much greater. So Arjun was around 60, 65, and his grandfather, that was Bhishma Pitama. He roared like a lion without any mic. Here, for 20 people, we need a mic. So if we look at it, what great people we had as our ancestors. So this Bhishma Pitama roared and then blew his conch. And following Bhishma Pitama, this was just to cheer him up and ask him, okay, enough, you are under stress, we understand. Now don't demoralize your own team, and now get out of this. So he started blowing his conch, and listening to the blow of the conch of Bhishma Pitama, who was the Senapati of their army, the entire army of the Kauravas started blowing the conch. And this made the Kaurava army the aggressor in the war for the entire history. That they were the one who began. Now, we also saw the description of that sound created by the Kaurava army blowing the conches and the various other instruments. And here Sanjaya's heart also is seen. He just said that it was deafening. And then after that came the description of the hero. So we saw how the description is appropriate to that of the entry of the hero. Slowly starting from the horses, the chariot, and then, you know, zooming out, and then, there he is. Shri Krishna and Madhavaha Pandavaha cha. So Madhava is Shri Krishna and Pandava, Arjuna. Both of them, they also started blowing their conch in response to the Kaurava army. And following them, all the others, and there so many names were taken. There the whole Sena blew conch. That's all over. Here, every name, all Pandavas' names and their conches' names also were given by Sanjaya. So much of detail. And then this person, these people, all of them blew their conches in response. And how was that sound? That also was described by Sanjaya, saying that it tore the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra into shreds. And the skies and the space and the earth, everything started reverberating with that sound. That was the impact of the war cry of Pandavas. So the response was such in just the conches, then the arrows are just going to follow very soon. At this time, till here we have seen already 19th verse. Okay, so this was just a recap. Now, after this, at this point, where Puja Gurudev calls this point of time in the war as the first arrow is yet to be shot. The war is declared now because both of them have blew their conches and declared the war. So it is now the aggressors have declared, the defenders have accepted. So over. Now, any time the war can begin. The first arrow is not yet shot. At this time, like a great warrior hero, Arjuna also started looking around. See, whenever anyone looks around, and that too in some territory which is a little unfamiliar, war and of this scale can never be called as a familiar territory. There is a little bit of unfamiliarity. No, it is not like I'm sitting in my house and I'm playing a video game, and then I look around what all is there, what are the various features, and what are the various weapons I can use, and what are the. It is not like that. It is a large scale war, world war kind of magnitude. It is never a familiar territory for anybody. So here there is Arjuna is in an unfamiliar territory, although he had fought so many battles in his life. But this was something very different at a different level altogether, different scale. So this Arjuna at this stage, what he looks around when he looks around and what he says. So first we will read the verse, then we will. So verse number 20 and the 21st verse half. We'll just read that much. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः हृषीकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते Atha, now at this time when the war is declared and not yet begun, at this time, Atha, Drishtva. So see, how did Duryodhana's description begin? Second verse. How did it begin? Drishtva tu Pandavanikam. Drishtva, having seen. Here also, Arjun, Drishtva. See, both of them, see, similarity. We are told that Arjun and Duryodhana's, there is some similarity which we will find. So, Drishtva tu Pandavanikam, Duryodhan started. Here, Drishtva. What did he see? What did Arjuna see? Dhartarashtran Drishtva. So there, Pandava Anikam Drishtva. So we are going comparative study, okay? So that is necessary. So that associative memory is easier for us to learn also. So Dhartarashtran Drishtva. There, Pandava Anikam Drishtva. So Pandava army, having seen the Pandava army. Here, having seen the sons of Dhritarashtra. That is his own cousins. Dhartarashtran Drishtva. Acha, what are these Dhritarashtra sons doing there? So, where is he seeing? He is not seeing his own brothers, he is not seeing his own army. Where is he looking at? Opposite army. He is looking at them. So, now, in an unfamiliar territory, looking face to face at an army which is much bigger than my own army, in such a scale of war in the battlefield, to be able to look, what does this show? What does this indicate? Confidence. Confidence. A great warrior, why should he fear? What is there for him to fear? He has fought so many battles, he has won so many. So this was not first time. And Kaurava army also, this was the first time. Already in the Virata kingdom, towards the end of their Ajñatavas, he has defeated this army. Of course, that was smaller. That was only the Hastinapur army. This is much bigger. But still, so he is looking at the army. So the body language itself indicates great confidence. Atha Vyavasthitan Drishtva Dhartarashtran. What is it? Vyavasthitan means very well arranged army. There also Pandavanikam Vyudham, we had seen. No? Very nice Vyuha Rachana was there of the Pandava army. So Kaurava army also was very well arranged. So Vyavasthitan Drishtva Dhartarashtran who Kapidhvajaha. Arjun here is referred to as Kapidhvaja. In those days, now we are reading this scripture, so we know Arjun was doing this, and Bhishma Pitama was there, and then Duryodhan came there next to Dronacharya. But how would people recognize? Because it's such a huge battlefield, and at distances people are there and fighting. How will we recognize who is who? So they had a system. The flags of every great warrior had a symbol. So based on the symbol, they were recognized. Oh, this is. So Arjuna's symbol was Kapi Hanumanji. Monkey means here Hanumanji. Hanumanji was seated on the flag of Arjuna. That is why he is called Kapidhvaja. Some people may ask, why was Hanumanji seated there? It is said, there is a story in Mahabharata, there is an incident that comes that Arjuna requests Hanumanji. He happens to meet Hanumanji, and similar to Bhima, Arjuna also gets kind of humbled. And after that, Arjuna requested, oh, Bhagwan Hanumanji, you please come and fight from our side. You are a Chiranjeevi. Hanumanji was a Chiranjeevi. So he said that you come and fight from our side, then we don't have to bother, we will definitely win. Hanumanji said, my fighting days are over. That was Treta Yuga. मेरा हो गया अभी अभी भी मैं ही खेलूंगा तो now it is your days, come on youngsters, आप लोग करो, मैं तो अभी तो पर आप छोड़ के मत जाना. नहीं मैं आपके साथ हूँ. See, so beautiful lessons for us also, that we prepare the next line, and then we say, I am with you, I am not running away. Don't run away. आपको सौंप दिया गया खत्म, अभी मैं कुछ नहीं करने वाला, ऐसा भी नहीं है. हनुमान जी said, I am with you, I will be with you, and I will be seated on your flag. So Arjun was protected. One, we saw how he was protected by Krishna in front, and on the top he was protected by Hanumanji. Both protection he had. So Kapidhwaja. So this Kapidhwaja. So one who had the blessings of none other than Hanumanji himself, such a great warrior, Arjuna. So he himself, his own prowess was great. Plus he had the strength of Hanumanji added to him. That confidence, he was looking around and seeing the well-arrayed army of the Dhritarashtra's sons. Acha. And what is the condition? He himself and the others, the entire army that he is watching. What is the condition? Pravrutte Shastra Sampate. Shastra Sampate Pravrutte means about to shoot arrows, about to start fighting with the weapons. So, fighting with the conch is over. Now, fighting with the weapons. About to shoot arrows. Ready. Pravritte Shastra Sampate. And for that, Arjun also himself was very ready. So, Dhanurudyamya, having his bow in his hand. He was. So, it was not that, let me just see first. After that, I will pad up and get ready and all. No. Like in the language of cricket, he's padded. He has his bat, gloves, everything put. He has his bat in his hand, and with the bat in his hand, he is going and looking at who are the bowlers. Now when I have to go and fight, who I have to face. That kind of with confidence, padded and ready. Pravritte Shastra Sampate Dhanurudyamya Pandava. This Pandavaha is Kapidhwajaha, both same names. Acha. Then he just first looked. After that, he addressed his driver. Driver, जरा गाड़ी निकालो. अच्छा. What? Hrishikesham tada vakyam idam aha mahipate. Sanjay is saying, hey Mahipate, hey Rajan, hey Dhritarashtra. Sanjay is addressing Dhritarashtra and saying, hey Mahipate, hey Rajan. Idam vakyam. Thus, in these words, Tada Hrishikesham aha. Arjuna at that time aha spoke these words in this way to Hrishikesham. Hrishikesha means Lord Shri Krishna. Earlier there was Madhava. Madhava means Lakshmipati. Hrishikesha means the Lord of the senses. It's called Hrishikesha. Hrishikāṇāṁ Īśaha Hrishikesha. The Lord of the senses, Bhagwan. Lord of the senses also we have to understand two meanings. Rishikesha means, once is Lord of the senses means he had his senses under his control. That is Sri Krishna. And other, Lord of all our senses. Our senses are working because of that consciousness, which is Bhagwan. So that way also Rishikesha. So Arjuna, having seen or looked at, observed all the well-arrayed army of the sons of Dhritarashtra, ready to fight, he himself also lifting his bow in his hand, ready to fight, he spoke these words to Rishikesha, Lord Shri Krishna. Okay, what did he say? Arjuna's words. See, we saw Duryodhana's words, now Arjuna's words. So beautiful. He is overflowing, throbbing with confidence. Right? Now we'll see. Arjuna Uvacha Senayorubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapayamechyuta Yavadetan Niriksheham Yodhukamanavasthitan Kairmaya Sahayodhavyam Asmin Rana Samudyame Yosyamananaveksheham य एतेऽत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेः युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः। Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna spoke. What did he say? Hey Achyuta. Achyuta again, Shri Krishna's name. What is Achyuta means? Chuta means fallen. Achyuta means never fallen. The one who is never fallen from his state of divinity. So Achyuta, hey Achyuta, me ratham sthapaya, my chariot, sthapaya, park my chariot. Where? Senayoho ubhayoho madhye. Madhye in the middle of ubhayoho, both the senayoho armies. Please take my chariot between the two armies and park it there. Go and stop there. And see poetry of Vedvyas ji. That what is Arjun saying? Senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapayame uchchuta. And that is also given as shlokayor ubhayor madhye, in the middle of a shloka. See? Half shloka is already over in Sanjaya's speech. Arjuna's speech, second half is coming. So it is somewhere in middle. See? This is poetry. This is literature, literary beauty of Gita has everything. So this also is there. Acha. So Senayor Ubhay. So he is requesting, or we can say he is commanding, because he is the, after all, he is the owner of the chariot, and Krishna Bhagwan is the driver. Arthi, take my ratha and park it in between the two armies. This was the instruction. Okay, instruction clear? What clear? This is so clear. What is there to? It is important. We will see its importance later. But now, what is the instruction? Take my chariot and park it in between the two armies, in the middle of the two armies. Okay, clear. Right now. Acha. Then Arjuna continues. Acha, why do you want? Krishna is not asking, huh? But he feels that he should justify. Why suddenly no warrior has done this so far? That go in the center of the two armies and then, what do you want to do? Why? Why you want me to take your chariot there? So Krishna is not inquiring, but Arjuna feels a need to justify. So he is saying, Yavad etan niriksheham. So that etan nirikshe, so that I can examine, observe etan, these people. Who? Who are these people? Yodhu kaman avasthitan. Those who are standing in their positions, in their appointed positions by their senapati, they are standing in their positions, Yodhu kaman avasthitan, with the desire of fighting. So I want to go and examine, I want to go and observe all these people who are in their positions ready to fight. Okay? Yodhu Kaman. Who will be desirous of fighting? A civilian. Warrior, soldier, army personnel. So it cannot be a civilian, right? Okay, just these are all important parts. Will come later. That is why. Okay, what does he want to do? He wants Krishna to take the chariot in the middle of the two armies. What does he want to do by that? That he wants to go and observe, examine the people who have come here to fight and are in their respective positions. Okay. Now. Kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin rana samudyame. Again, beauty of Sanskrit. Asmin Rana Samudyame, in this battlefield, in this gathering for war, Asmin Rana Samudyame, in this battlefield, Kair maya saha yodhavyam. I want to see, I want to go and examine, I want to go and observe these people. What do you want to see? I want to see Kaihi maya saha yodhavyam. Who has come to fight against me? कौन आया है देखना चाहता हूं मैं. Kair maya saha yodhavyam. You see now, Kaihi means with whom. Maya is with me. Okay, so means who has come to fight with me? I want to see that. Who is there? So there are two pronouns used, Kaihi and Maya. So little bit Sanskrit. So that is also helpful in understanding the beauty of these words. So here he is confident. So he is asking, who has come to fight against me? Me, the great Arjuna. I want to see. So take me there. Justifying his request. Now, if we understand the same statement with the same, see, Duryodhan also, there was one verse which had two meanings. One was extreme confidence and one was fear and stress. Huh? Which one was that? You remember? Huh? The 10th verse. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma virakshitam paryaptam tvidame tesham balam bhima virakshitam. In that, the paryaptam word has both meanings. One is sufficient and one is limited. So in one meaning, he is showing confidence, and other meaning, his fear is also hidden there. Similarly, here also two uses of two pronouns. Two pronouns, what happens is, Kair maya saha yodhavyam. Who is there who has come to fight against me? Confidence. And other, whom do I have to fight against? I want to see that is hidden here. He looks like very confident outside, but here he is that hidden thing. He is also under stress, and now that stress slowly will manifest. See, that is a treatment of Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama, of Duryodhan, and of course Duryodhan's inner qualities, plus here Arjun's qualities, plus treatment of Krishna. That is very different. That is why Puja Gurudev says this is Arjuna disease for which you need a Krishna cure. No other cure will work. And if we understand Arjuna well, which we are trying to do from the first chapter, we will understand ourselves well. And if we can become Arjuna, because Arjuna has some beautiful qualities also, which has made him a recipient of the Krishna cure. So then Gita will be effective upon us also. So we will see those points also as we go ahead. But now, for now, Arjun is saying, who has come to fight against me? And in the same words here, the hidden meaning is also there, that who all have come against whom I have to fight. So, Kair maya saha yodhavyam asmin rana samudyame. I want to go and see them. Okay. Acha. And what will you do? Okay, you go and see. Then, yotsyamananaveksheham aham avekshe. I will analyze, understand, examine who Yotsya the one who have come to fight, who have come with the desire to fight. I am going to examine them. Ya etetra samagataha, atra samagataha yah. Ye, those people who have come here, gathered here, Yotsya to fight. I want to understand all of them. I want to, know for myself what are their strengths and all. Bring back, see, for example, even sports also, like cricket and all. People, very great batsmen also they may be, but they have this training part where they watch the videos of certain bowlers and all, and they see what kind of bowls what is their strength, what is their weakness, what can be done. So such kind of train. So here also he said, I want to go and do that. I want to just look at who all are standing there, what are their strengths, because they're all very, very popular and great warriors. So I know most of them, but I want to go and just bring back to my memory. Nirikshan karna chahta hu. I want to observe and I want to understand. I want to bring it to my immediate conscious apprehension. Yotsemana naveksheham ye etetra samagataha. Acha, after this, now see, confidence is good. We see these all things we see in Duryodhana also we saw, and now here also. Confidence is good. But when behind the confidence there is a fear, then sometimes it expresses as arrogance also. It transgresses some limits. So now, till now it was okay, fine. He was speaking, after he's speaking to Krishna, although his that bhakti bhava has not yet come. It will come in second chapter only. But now, saying, Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe yuddhe priya chikirshava. These people, I want to go and examine them, know them who have come to fight against me, who have gathered here because of this durbuddhi, Duryodhana. Dharta Rashtrasya Durbuddhe. The adjective Durbuddhi is the adjective for Dharta Rashtra. Here, Dharta Rashtra singular is for Duryodhan. So, this Durbuddhi Duryodhan, his, because of him, for him, these people have gathered here. Yuddhe Priya Chikirshavaha. They have come here to please this Durbuddhi Duryodhan. To please him. Priya Chikirshavaha. They want to do something that will please him. So they have come here to fight. And they don't know that they have to fight against me. So that confidence, a little bit of arrogance. But that arrogance is not real arrogance. Because there is fear, that fear sometimes expresses as arrogance. Sometimes expresses as anger. So if it was real confidence, I will not speak ill of my opponent. I'll say, they are strong, but I am stronger. And I am very confident. Let us have a match. So that's a different spirit. But when I go down to speak ill of somebody, use names for them, what does it mean? That there is some fear also. So like Duryodhana also said, Hey Dvijottama, he also called his Acharya as Dronacharya as Brahmana. What are you doing, Brahmana, in this battlefield, which is a field of Kshatriyas? So he also insulted in some way. He also said, look at your own Shishya, Tava Shishyena Dhimata, sarcasm. He also used with his guru. And here, about Duryodhana, Arjun also is saying something similar. I think Durbuddhi, Duryodhan, just to please him, all of them have come. Arjun also is aware that it is for Bhishma Pitama that people are standing there. Except for the 100 Kauravas, not even 100, 99, because Yuyutsu had joined Pandava's army. So 99 Kauravas and Karna and few Shakuni and all few of those people. That's about it. No, not many people have come for Duryodhan. Rest all have come only for Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya. So here he is saying that these people have come to please this Durbuddhi Duryodhan, and I want to see, I want to know who all have come. Who all have come to fight against me. And with the fear, who all do I have to fight against? I want to go and see. So this is the request. Okay, instruction, request, justification, all clear. Now if it is clear, now we will see Sanjaya's description. Now Arjun has spoken what he had to say, he has said. Now he is quiet. Krishna Bhagwan is not in a mood to speak now because he has just seen that now surgery is required. Decision is made. That's all. So now if surgery is required, now let him. So the patient has to sometimes, you have to let the patient worsen a little bit. And after that, you take him towards the cure. Otherwise, the patient will deny. No problem. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Then at one point, when you stop denying, and when you say that, no, really, I need help. Okay, come. So little bit of, so now Krishna Bhagwan has recognized that, okay, these are the symptoms. And now little bit of worsening of the case will happen. But Bhagwan knows. So he said, why should I speak? If I speak, then he will think that he has overcome his complicated internal state. So then he is quiet. So now Arjuna is quiet, Krishna is quiet. And that's when Sanjay has to speak. So now Sanjay is saying, what did he do? Now, what Arjuna asked, I am repeating again and again because we have to see what Krishna did. Okay? Sanjay Uvacha एवमुक्तो हृषीकेशः गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम् भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya spoke. What did he say? Hey Bharata. Here Bharata is an address to Dhritarashtra because he is also in that same Vamsha only. So Hey Bharata. So Bharata means Bharatiya is also called Bharata. So this land is also called Bharata. Bha means knowledge. Rata means one who is reveling in it. Nowadays, many reels are there to know this. Okay, everybody is talking about it. So we all know what is Bharata all of a sudden. It needs a government to do something for everyone to know our name of our country. Very good. Good things happening in the world. Okay. So Bharata here, Dhritarashtra is also addressed. In this address also there is, Sanjay is saying, you are a knowledgeable person. At least you belong to a family of knowledgeable people. So behave like that. Not in a derogatory manner, but he's just giving him hints as much as possible. Earlier he said, Mahipate. He said, you are a Raja. Even now you are the king. You can stop this destruction if you want. Here he's saying, Bharata, you're knowledgeable. You know everything. Still you are just, being blind for the sake of it. No, you are only blind with your senses, but with your buddhi, you are not blind. You are such an intelligent person. Why are you doing this? Your own sons will be killed. You know who is Sri Krishna. You know it very well. That's the reason you did not take this opportunity of seeing the war yourself. You asked me. I am very blessed. I feel blessed about it. But then, so he's hinting again and again. So here he's saying, Hey Bharata, Hrishikeshaha Gudakeshena evam uktaha. Having been told this way. Who? Hrishikesha. Hrishikesha we know. Hrishikesha. This Hrishikesha and Gudakesha, these two words. Gudakesha is name of Arjuna. Hrishikesha is name of Krishna. So Hrishikesha means Hrishikana Mishaha, the Lord of senses. And Gudakesha means Gudakayaha Ishaha. Gudaka means night. Darkness. So the dark night. The Lord of the night. Why Arjuna is called Lord of the night? We have seen it before. We've seen this story. Okay, I will remind. Dronacharya had instructed his wife Kripi that whenever these students during the Gurukula period are having dinner, there won't be light outside. The lamp should not be put off when Arjuna is eating. Others, no problem. One night, Dronacharya comes running and asks Kripi that did the lamp get blown off when Arjuna was eating? So she said, but it was just for 2-3 seconds. I immediately lit it up. There was a strong breeze and it went off. But how did you know? So Dronacharya said, whatever has to be done has been done. Now we can't do anything. We can't undo this. So, but how did you know? Said, come. Took her out, and outside she could hear arrows being shot. So Kripi asked, who is this? Said Arjuna. Because in those 2-3 seconds, when it was dark, he was eating and he found that if I can eat in dark, why can't I shoot in dark? This is the level of Arjuna. So he could fight even in the night. He could shoot arrows and reaching the target. Okay, shoot, we also can shoot. But to reach the target, he could shoot. So that is a Gudakaya hai Isha. That is why in the Mahabharata war, there is one night where they had night war also. Where Arjuna and Kadodkach, etc., also had come. So night war also was saved by these few people. And after that, of course, there was Narayana Astra and also very interesting. If you get a chance, you should read the description of the 18 days of war. Every day's details are given. So very beautiful. So anyway, so Gudakaya is night. So he did not need to sleep also much. He used to, because he felt that if I can eat in dark, why can't I shoot in dark? Started practice. Same night in the Gurukul itself. So that is Arjuna's greatness. And this Gudakesha, Rishikesha also has another meanings, and that is with Kesha. Kesha means what is not here. So Rishikesha means the one who has curly hair. So Sri Krishna has nice curly hair. And Gudakesha means the one who has tied his hair as a bun. So because a warrior, he can't afford to have, they used to have long hair. So he can't afford to have his hair flying over his eyes and all like nowadays people do. So he had to, everything is tied on the top so that his vision is clear and he is able to fight. So he was called Gudakesha, and here Sri Krishna is called as Rishikesha. Both these meanings. Anyway, so by having been told by Gudakesha in this manner, Rishikesha, what did he do? What did Rishikesha do? Senayor ubhayor madhye sthapayitva rathottamam. Uttamam ratham. This ratha, which was Uttama, great, the most magnificent chariot. Why magnificent chariot? Why it was made specially to order? Hare Krishna was there. That is why he is Uttama Ratha. That is a beauty. And in our Upanishads, if we see, Ratha is considered to be, compared to the body, physical body. And Uttama Ratha, how will this physical body be the great? Because when Bhagwan is already residing, but when he is recognized to be residing, that's when it becomes Uttama. Means that's when our body will be put to real, correct use. Otherwise, it is only abuse that's happening or underuse. So, Rathottamam Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva. Having placed the chariot in the middle of the two armies as requested. What did Arjuna request? That please place my chariot in between the two armies. So, having placed that in between the two armies, having placed that, but where? See, this is important. Arjuna did not specify where in the center. Oh, center is center. Now, see, there was no geometrical center there. Okay, so he said between the two armies. So, two armies are arrayed up, lined up in front of each other, facing each other. And Arjuna from here, he wants his chariot to be brought in the center and placed in the center. Okay, so now he is placed in the center, but there is a possibility of placing it can be so much, right? Because the army is not a small army of 10 people here and 10 people. There's so many, 11 Akshauhinis and 7 Akshauhinis, and in the center could be anywhere. Arjuna said between the two armies. He did not say where. So that he did not specify. So here, this is where Krishna Bhagavan comes in. Senayor Upayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam. But where in the center? He says, Bhishma Drona Pramukhataha. Where did he place his chariot? Right in front of Bhishma and Drona. See, he could have placed it in front of some of the Kauravas. He could have placed it in front of any other warrior who was there. Anybody could have been there. But right in front of Bhishma and Drona, Bhishma Drona Pramukhata. And Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam. And all other kings were also there. So in front of them, he went and placed the chariot. And here Krishna speaks in the first chapter. It's not that he doesn't speak at all, but he speaks less than half a verse. He says, Uvacha, Uvacha, Rishikeshaha, Uvacha. That much only. What he says, Partha, hey Parth, Pashya, look, see, you wanted to see, no? See, Pashya, what? Etan Samavetan Kurun. Partha Pashya Etan Samavetan Kurun. 5 words only he has spoken in the first chapter. Hey Partha, see these gathered Kuru Amshis. You wanted to see them. Pashya Etan Samavetan Kurun. Iti Uvacha. This is how he spoke. Okay. So now, Arjuna, what did he request? Senayor Ubayor Madhye Ratam Sthapaya Me Achyuta. And what did Krishna Bhagavan? Implicitly obedient Bhagavan is. He is the most obedient Bhagavan. Bhagavan, but obedient. That is greatness. One who is really powerful, they don't mind obeying. We of little power only, मैं तेरा नौकर बैठा हूँ, मैं क्यों करूँ काम? तू बोले तो मैं क्यों करूँ? This is our job, our type of thinking. Bhagavan is the Lord of the universe. For him, Arey, let us do. You are asking with so much of love. Why not? You chose me. And you gave up the entire army. In the war situation, giving up the army is like giving up everything. And you chose me. Which means it shows that you love me. And one who loves me, if he or she asks, Chalo, you take my chariot, immediately, followed immediately. Sthapayitva, having put it there, only he spoke. But where did he place? That was in his hands. See, this is where Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji and Puja Gurudev also explains that Sri Krishna Bhagavan here, even in the introduction of the Gita by Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji, he has given that what is the purpose of the Gita? Why should we study the Gita? So there are various, even Puja Gurudev in his short talks called Art of Man Making, he has given beautiful, in contemporary language, in the language appealing to the youth. So if you have not seen that, please do get a copy and read that Art of Man Making. Very beautiful, very, very relevant, and we can understand it in today's day and age. He says, why study the Gita? What is the urgency of studying the Gita? What is the relevance and how we can, beautiful topics are there. So anyway, so there Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji specifies that Bhagavan, the Lord of the universe, he sometimes takes an avatar. So what is the purpose of the avatar? It will come in the 4th chapter in detail. But one of the main purposes of Avatara is to correct the wrongdoings, to set things right and establish a standard way of living, which is a right way of living, righteousness. So Dharma Samsthapana. So that is a popular shlokas we know, Dharma Samsthapana Arthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. So this Dharma Sthapana, how will this Dharma Sthapana happen? Will this just happen by killing the wrongdoers and protecting the people who are following? Is this sufficient? No. Also, education is required. See, Puja Gurudev also started Chinmaya Mission. Not just, Chinmaya Mission is not, people sometimes say that Chinmaya Mission is not doing any seva work. Seva work means what? Feeding people. Do you feed the poor? Oh, you don't do. Oh. We do feeding of the poor also. It's not that we don't. But then teaching education is not considered as seva. And teaching the scriptures, of course not. Huh? Actually, okay, you are sponsoring education, you are running schools, college, that is okay. But a Vedant you are teaching, what seva is that? Why? Because people who don't have anything else to do, anything worthwhile to do, they have a lot of time, and anyway they sleep or they eat and they just waste time watching the TV or something, or they come and sit there and then you just talk something and then they listen and that is seva, or what seva is there? We feel that. But education is a very, very important thing, and scriptural, spiritual education is very important. Actually, if we don't realize this today, in today's world, looking at our children, our youth, and see, children, youth are not bad. They need guidance. But we find ourselves inadequate to guide because we ourselves have not studied. How will we guide? And how will we guide in a language that will be appreciated by them? So, if we under this great seva of education is very important. So, setting things right, establishing a standard of living, a standard of life, the righteous way of living life, that will come only through education, proper education and guidance. And this education, in every avatara, in some or the other way, Bhagavan achieves. Every avatar. And here in Sri Krishna avatar, Shankaracharya ji very beautifully explains that to make these principles appealing to the world, because dharma means righteousness, right way of living, it cannot be just in the books or in concepts. It has to be a part of life. When somebody lives like that, that's when it is protected. So dharma cannot be protected in a cupboard. Dharma cannot be protected in a bank locker. Dharma has to be protected by living it. And if an influencer lives it, we understand this language very well today. Earlier we had to describe such a person. Now one word is enough. Influencer. I know. If an influencer says Bhagavad Gita is the way of life, how many followers that person has? So many millions. They also at least listen to the name Bhagavad Gita and at least get intrigued. They may take action, not take action is different, but at least so many people will be influenced by it. That is important. So, that celebrities and all of them, cinema stars or sports people, if they say something, Bhagavad Gita, I follow Bhagavad Gita. That is why we have to say Einstein used to read Bhagavad Gita, Mahatma Gandhi had Bhagavad Gita in his hands, and all these names we have to take because Bhagavad Gita by itself, it is not appealing to us. What to do? Actually, the glory of these people is they had Bhagavad Gita. But it is the other way around. What to do? Influencer, So Arjuna, Shankaracharya ji says that Arjuna was the influencer of those times. And so, if he gets the right knowledge and he lives the right way of life, the entire society will be protected. So this is the power of knowledge, and this is the power of imparting that knowledge to an influencer. And that is what Bhagavan is doing here. Now, why are you talking about this? We know, okay, we understand this. Why are you talking about this here at this juncture? Why did Bhagavan take that extra decision of placing the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona? Bhagavan will not do anything without any reason or just casually, by mistake, accidentally. Nothing happens like that. Everything is well thought of. Arjuna's demand was, place my chariot in the middle. Huh, placed in the middle. But where in the middle? In front of Bhishma and Drona. Why? Because that's how he will demand for the knowledge, and that's how I will be able to give the knowledge. So many people ask, why did Sri Krishna give the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield? And answer to this, many people say, because Arjuna wanted it, and there it was needed, therefore there only he had to give. All this is good. It's not wrong. But the real reason is because Bhagwan wanted to give it. It was his plan. So when we are also faced with challenges like Bhishma Drona standing in front of us, and we go, what will I do? Remember, Bhagwan has placed our chariot there. Why? Oh, all my confidence will turn into stress and fear and I will crumble down. Never mind. If you are with Bhagwan, he will ensure that your demand is real and you will be getting the correct supply of the Krishna cure. So we don't need to bother about some difficulties in life or some tough situations, challenges. We don't need to bother about them. What we need to do is keep Bhagwan with us and always remember his teachings. Live the life the best possible way. Those small things we'll keep picking up from Arjuna. So Arjuna sowed his seeds of receiving the Gita not now in the battlefield, but before the war when he went to get Sri Krishna with himself. That choice has to be ours. We often ask for Bhagwan Sena only. Sometimes his wife also. Give me your wife. But one who asks for Bhagwan, see, Bhagwan when he comes, he is the Swami. We saw that even in Narayani Sena, the great Narayani Sena of the Yadavas, from that also Satyaki was here, the words that are used here is Satyakischa aparajitaha, one who can never be defeated. He was one of the survivors of the war. So Satyaki, being a part of that Yadavas Sena, he said, I am not going to fight against Sri Krishna. But Sri Krishna is not fighting at all. No, but whichever team he is in, I am in that team. Nobody can bind me there. So such people will come with us because Bhagwan is there. So the point is making the right choice. So here, when Arjuna requested Bhagwan Sri Krishna to take his chariot and place it in the center of the battlefield in between the two armies, Krishna chose to place it right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Bhishma Drona Pramukhatah Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam. And in front of all the other kings also, he put the chariot there, and then he did not want Arjuna to miss. So he said, you must have seen that picture or painting of the Gita Rath. Krishna Bhagavan is saying this. See, what? Etan Samavetan Kurun. These are the gathered Kuruvanshis who have come. See, Pashya. You wanted to see? Kair Maya Saha Yodhavyam. Who has come to fight? And then, whom do I have to fight against? Them. Preparation for surgery. Done. Now what does Arjuna see? Interesting. What did he say? Yavadesheta niriksheham yodhu kaman avasthitan. What did Arjun say? That I want to see, examine, observe the people who have come to fight. Means I have come here I want to see the warriors, I want to see the soldiers, who all are there, who are the Rathis, Maharathis, Atirathis. I want to see all those. Okay. But what does he end up seeing? Once Krishna shows, then what does he see? Okay, now, interesting. Shloka number 26. Tatra pashyat sthitan parthah पितृनथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टः विषीदन्निदमब्रवीत्. Tatra Partha apashyat. So Partha, Arjun saw Tatra there. Acha. What did he want to see? Yodhu Kaman Avasthitan. He wanted to see warriors. But what did he see? Tatra apashyat. Sthitan, standing there. Who all? Pitrun, ancestors, yani fathers, uncles, etc. Pitamahan, grandfathers. As we said, there were 7 generations of the family fighting there. Bhishma Pitamaha's uncle was also there. So he was the senior most. And in the middle were these Pandavas. And then there 2 other generations also. So total. So fathers, grandfathers, fathers, uncles, grandfathers, all these were there. Acharyan, teachers were there. So Dronacharya was there, Kripacharya was there. Other teachers were also there. Matulan. Matulan means maternal uncles, mama. And all these are plurals, because it's a huge family. So Matulan, Bhratrun, brothers. Then Bhratrun, Putran, sons. Pautran, grandsons. Sakhims tatha, and friends. Then Shwashuran, fathers-in-law. Fathers-in-law means he also had fathers-in-law. He had Subhadra and Draupadi, but then there were others also. So in among themselves also they were no. It's not that his relations only he is talking about. Others were also related as someone was a father-in-law and son-in-law, someone was a brother and a brother, there was a friend and a friend. So such kind of relations he was seeing there. Shwashuran, Suhridaschaiva, and good people, good-hearted people who are, good to everyone. Suhridaschaiva. Where did he see this? See, now he is standing. Initially, what did he say? Dhartarashtran Kapidwajaha. So he saw only the Kaurava army because he was facing them. Now he is in the middle. Now he is able to see Senayor Ubhayor Api. In both the Senas, he is seeing all these relatives. When we start seeing relatives, we cannot see the absolute. So Arjuna saw relatives. He saw his own relatives and he saw everybody related to each other. Some or the other relation. Now, this is a very, very important point which we need to understand. Although Arjun wanted to see people who were there to fight, means warriors, still he ended up seeing relatives. Do we also do that? When we also meet someone, we have this hodgepodge of personal relations, professional relations. So, see, warrior and warrior also is a relationship. But do we recognize that? Prioritize that? In certain professions, which never get perfect, doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, they never get perfect. Why? Because they are practicing all their lives. So, all these practitioners, if we see, uh, most of the cases, 99.9%, if there is something to deal with, they, and sometimes the law also doesn't allow a relative to deal with it. Like in the medical field, most of the doctors, they don't want to operate upon their own relatives. There are some who do, but most of them they don't. Lawyers, they are not allowed only. Same way, so many, so there are conflict of interest and so many issues come up. Why? Because in a professional relationship, there is a possibility of seeing personal relationship. Here, relationship per se is not bad or is not wrong. Here, he is in a particular place for a particular thing, and he knows it. He wants to see that only, but he ended up seeing personal relationships. Not only with himself, but among themselves also. He's looking at his brother. Here there is Nakul Sahadev, and there he's seeing Dushasan or whatever. And says, brothers are fighting with each other. So bad. Uncles and nephews are fighting with each other. So bad. Grandfather and grandson are fighting with each other. So bad. And for me also, my relatives, all of them, how will I fight? So I am here on the battlefield. The conches have been blown, the war is declared. And see, Arjun did not come to the battlefield all of a sudden. He was woken up in the morning and say, hey, today we have to fight, chalo, come quickly. Chalo, chalo, okay, come quickly. No, in fact, he was against peace. He said, what peace? These people will not understand any language of peace. He was going to stop Sri Krishna from going as a Shanti Dut. He said, no, don't go. What is the point? He and Bhima were the ones who were angry, and they spent the entire 12 plus 1, 13 years just preparing for the war. In fact, Arjuna prepared. Bhima was waiting. Because what more can he prepare? He was ready. But so preparing for such a long time, more than a decade, you are waiting for this moment. All your life, you have known that these people have been unjust. You wanted to teach them a lesson, and you also knew that you have a responsibility. It is not just your privilege. You know all these things. But when it comes to that moment, suddenly I see my relatives. What is this? When we also are face to face with a challenge, we tend to suddenly have this, as though my heart has transformed. Nothing has transformed. Just this external display of compassion. That is why it says, Kripaya Paraya Vishta. Suddenly overcome with this emotion. And you say, it is so wrong that is happening. So bad. And Gita is considered to be a universal scripture because, irrespective of the times, the places, and the people, it is applicable. And today's day and age, uh, we have human rights, uh, you know, coming in the case of terrorists. Human rights violation for terrorists. So we are seeing this world. So they are also our brothers. Brothers, go and stay with them in their house. No, no, don't go and stay with them. Invite them and make them stay in your house. Brothers. Arjuna will say, oh, what Arjuna? No, he went there to fight. He should have fought. What is this? He was so weak, Arjuna, he got scared of all these things, this was not right. We understand. I don't know why he did not understand. He needed Krishna to explain. I know by myself. I know he should not have done that. Yeah, Arjun should not have done that, but I am doing it now today, but that I don't realize. I don't understand. I know, what is justice, what is injustice. I have gone through, I have been a victim. Still, I glorify something. After all, what after all? This is the root cause. And if we find ourselves and our society in this condition, Bhagavad Gita is the solution to this. Puja Gurudev used to say, Bhagavad Gita teaches us not to remain silent when there is evil overpowering the society. Active resistance to evil. That is what Gurudev used to say. We cannot be passive. It is not a choice. We cannot say, okay, let them do, we are practicing. In my house, I am okay. We can't be so selfish. That doesn't mean that we have to take guns and go out and, that is not required. Soldiers are doing their job. At least do things which are supporting the soldiers. So at least that much we can try and do as much as possible. At least we don't sponsor the killers of our soldiers by buying products made by our adversary countries. At least that much we can do. It is just a choice of our lifestyle. So small things, it is possible for us. And where are we looking at? Our history also, recent history, we're not talking about Mahabharata history, recent history also. How did we lose a huge portion of Tibet and other places? How did all that go away? Bhai only, na? Bhai only, na? So Arjun is not a historical character. He is today within us and in our society. He is everywhere. This aspect of Arjuna, we have to identify and we have to understand that I am also doing this. I become weak, and as soon as I see relatives, where will objectivity go? It cannot stay. Objectivity has gone, so I cannot deal with it the way it should be dealt with. I find myself incapable of dealing with the situation. तत्यापश्यत् स्थितान् पार्थ पितॄनथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा. And that only, we are also seeing that only. Poor things. Not just people, I'm saying even in matters of principle. Even disciplining our own children. When there is a question of discipline, I'm not saying we should be dictatorial or heartless, but there has to be a standard. If we compromise everything, then discipline won't happen. You want to go to school? Okay, you go. You don't want to go? Okay, don't go, no problem. Do we ever do that? Never. But with Bal Vihar? Oh, you're not in a mood to go to Bal Vihar? Okay, never mind. Today you don't go. With Bal Vihar, we will do that. With school? No. Why? Societal pressure, nothing else. It's not that the child should go and study. We know that he is not studying much there. After all, our children. आदत ही नहीं है, पीढ़ियों से नहीं है आदत पढ़ने की. So when we want to see something but end up seeing something else, when we bring in our relationships, our personal relationships in professional places or in a situation where objectivity is required, that is where problem comes. I know of a girl, alumni now of Chinmay International Residential School. She got her surgery done by her own uncle. Some surgery was there. I said, "Your uncle is operating on?" Huh? So I spoke to the uncle. I said, "How come we don't hear of such a case?" So he said, "For me, when I go into the OT, she's my patient. I don't see who it is. I see the problem and I'm not thinking about who that person is. Whoever that person, we don't look at the face of that person also. We are just doing whatever we have to do." That is professionalism. And this is too much lacking, especially in our Indian society. I don't say that we become so professional that there is no human touch at all. That also is very dangerous. That happens in a very, very stark materialistic society where there's only professional relationship, where we have to take appointment and say, "Dad, I want to come home for dinner." Okay, how many people? How many chapatis will you have? That's another extreme. We don't need to get into that much. But when we are in a situation that demands objectivity, we stick to it. So here Arjuna is actually, that is why Arjuna is a representative of ours and of every age, every period of time. He is our representative. So सेनयोरुभयोऽपि अपश्यत् तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धून् अवस्थितान् तान् समीक्ष्य, having observed all of them, who? Sarvan Bandhun, all the relatives there, Avasthitan. So Yodhu Kaman Avasthitan was his desire. But what came? Sarvan Bandhun Avasthitan. All these uh, relatives who have taken positions. Kripaya Paraya Vishta. Extreme compassion. Now, this compassion is not the real compassion, okay? Compassion is actually a good quality, but here, this is a misplaced compassion. Kripaya Paraya Vishta. Paraya Kripaya Avishta. Overcome with this great sense of compassion. Vishidan idam abravit. Idam abravit. He spoke thus. Vishidan. Being saddened greatly. He spoke. Now, what did he speak? We will see next time. We'll just do some Nam Sankirtan by the time they come. Govinda